Hello, I'm FX Toycat, and Mojang just revealed the third and final mob that you can vote for at Minecraft Live next week. It's going to be a tough one to vote for some people. However, we also have some exclusive information from developers explaining things about the Rascal and the Sniffer that weren't clear at all in the trailers, which is incredibly interesting. Let's explain everything you need to know about each of the three mobs, starting with the new TUFF GOLEM trailer.
I didn't realize Tiny Woo was such an art collector.
Is this a statue or a hat holder?
I think it's both. You never know with contemporary pieces.
It's alive!
Art!
Wait a minute. James B.
TUFF Golems! I had only heard rumors about the statue that comes alive.
That explains the hats moving. They can hold an item and move around your base.
If players vote for the TUFF Golem, we can open an art exhibition.
So my first thought is that famous saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, and so... More seriously though, to try and say some positive things about the TUFF Golem, it is a very cute looking mob, and who doesn't love the idea of showing off their super valuable rare things at their base in ways that other people can enjoy and explore, and also that walks around by itself. I mean, showing off your ender pearls might be a little bit silly, but showing off a beacon or a nether star or an elytra or something super late game, the dragon egg that you're really proud of, would be really, really great. However, the more you think about it, the more you start to realize that, well, we already have ways to show off super valuable items. The armor stand is one of them, and the item frame is the other, or the glow item frame if you want to include that too. We already have ways to show off items, but none of those are alive, besides the armor stand if you animate it. However, I would say we already have a way to show off items that is alive. The ally can be given an item, and he'll float around you, kind of showing it off, as well as actually doing something on top. The TUFF Golem is just an ally, but minus the actual functionality. To me, it seems like Minecraft really wants to add a golem to the game, just purely for decorational reasons, but hasn't really worked out what it's going to do. It is possible they're going to work that out after the vote, but what we've seen from this trailer is not convincing me that you should vote for the TUFF Golem unless you significantly hate the other two mobs. And speaking of hating the other two mobs, we do have an update regarding them. One comes from Jeb himself, one comes from Japper, regarding the Sniffer and the Rascal, because immediately after seeing the Rascal and the TUFF Golem trailers, a lot of people have jumped immediately aboard Team Sniffer. I think Sniffer has the clear early advantage from people saying, yeah, this looks like it's the best. However, here's the thing, the Rascal is actually better than you might assume, because someone tweeted at Jeb, again, Chief Creative Officer, kind of head of Mojang, saying like, how will it actually work? Will it drop more things than just the Enchanted Iron Pickaxe? And Jeb responds directly saying the pickaxe is only one example of the things that it will give you. The exact details will be figured out as part of the implementation process. Until then, we're happy to hear your suggestions. In other words, saying it's going to give you a pickaxe, but also other things we haven't worked out yet. We're going to obviously have to balance and test and design and implement the thing, but they're basically saying that the end loot hasn't been solved yet. The same thing is true for the Sniffer. You might think the Sniffer, it was mentioned that it will find a new plant, never seen before plant in Minecraft, so when you vote for the Sniffer, you get a Sniffer and you get a plant. However, Japper has confirmed that the plant is just going to be decorational. That is all they've planned for so far, and that makes you start to think a bit more about all of these options, because honestly, my overall conclusion, having seen all three trailers this week, was wow, the Sniff was off to a great start, it's cute, and it has a use outside of it. The Rascal was like kind of weird, and the TUFF Golem's like, well, I don't know, like we went on a downward trajectory, and I think that honestly, now having heard the extra details, that the Sniffer gets a decoration-only plant, think about like a tulip or something, now that I hear about all of this, it makes me start to think like, well, what is the point of any of these mobs? I think after the big backlash to the Phantom, the monster of the night sky, and then after the backlash to the mountain update, which they took over a year, past next year's Minecraft Live to actually implement, given that we've had both ends of the spectrum, a mob that people hate, and then a mob that people can't hate but takes time to implement, they're now going for the exact opposite of both, to the point where now we get mobs that are seemingly very easy to implement. I mean, they could implement a TUFF Golem, before the end of the year if they wanted to. However, now that they're seemingly easier to implement and they're seemingly never going to hurt the player, we get mobs that have these like weird secondary purposes that are hard to get excited for. I mean, for real, any of the first three mob vote mobs, besides the Phantom now, you look at them now and you're like, yeah, that'd be cool to see a mysterious squid that actually had some weird depth powers, the hovering inferno, or even the weird mob that would eat your tools. rules, although that's arguably been implemented already. Because here's the thing, every mob that we won't vote for, because a lot of people are going to say, no, Toycat, these mobs aren't inconsequential. I really need my thing to be added to the game. And it's important to reference also that, ORAF confirms this one. So Minecraft developer confirms right here that all the mobs that you don't vote for, unlike that first year where they said they're going to throw away the ideas forever, which was dramatic and everyone hates, they've been saying the ideas that mobs that won't win the mob vote will go instead to the ideas library. You can share this with your friend who knows for sure that the losers are gone forever. Going to the idea library means they might be added in the future, but are not promised to be added in the future. In other words, effectively saying, yeah, any mob that you don't vote for could come to the game in the future. They used to say that it will definitely come to the game at some point, like maybe 100 years from now. Now they're going a bit more realistic and saying, yeah, it goes back to the possible set of ideas. Minecraft could add guns. It's a very bad idea, but they're not going to. And in the same way, if a mob gets 1% of the mob vote, clearly the players don't want it, and I think it's probably going to stay in the idea library forever. However, they do sometimes bring back the second place votes, like with the frogs last year and the swamps and stuff. In fact, people really like the frogs. So that is the key thing to note here, that honestly, your vote, to me, it seems as though in an attempt to prevent backlash against the mob vote, while still having this big engagement in the community, they've made mobs that are too simple and easy and that people find it hard to get excited for. Like, the Rascal is now the most promising option to me. Again, I think the Sniffer is the one that looks the cutest and probably will win, but the Rascal, at least they're like, well, it might drop something interesting. I mean, it has that cute little backpack on it. Maybe they decide, because we need an inventory update, maybe that's the theme here, maybe they decide to include it in that way. We just don't know for sure. And honestly, this is, maybe this is a microcosm for democracy, but looking at the free mobs and seeing that the TUFF Golem doesn't seem to have a purpose besides showing off mobs. The Rascal, we don't know what it's going to drop, and so we just know you're playing hide and seek, which we don't know how that works either, by the way. And the Sniffer is going to have a plant, but we don't know what the plant looks like, and also we know that the Sniffer is only found in chests, but how commonly, how rarely? All of the details about these mobs are missing, to the level where I don't even know how you would decide. If you're trying to actually decide what would make Minecraft better, I don't know how you decide on anything besides, does the mob look and sound cute? The idea of a TUFF Golem does look and sound cute. The idea of a Rascal is an interesting sounding idea. Who knows if they make something good or bad of it? And is that a good way for mob design to go? That's a question I'm going to leave with you. I'm also going to leave with you the important question, because a lot of people ask YouTubers this, hey, what are you going to vote for? And kind of implicitly, what do you think we should vote for? But I think it's really important in any form of democratic system to make this point clear. A lot of people forget it. You should vote for whatever you feel is a good idea. Each of these mobs could be really great. The Sniffer could have some wonderful extra use for that plant that we don't know about yet, that they haven't even planned for yet, that it comes out at some point in development, or it could just be nothing. The Rascal could have some amazing unique drop. The TUFF Golem could do something too, probably. There could be amazing things for each of these mobs, and I'm going to tell you straight up, vote for whatever you feel like is the best mob and that you think should be added to the game. I'm not going to tell you just to vote because I think it's for my opinion. Vote no matter who you're going to vote for. I think it's a good idea. That is something that always gets lost in conversations about democracy. Democracy works when people vote for what they think is good, and then we collectively form an opinion. Let's hope as a community we form a good one. Speaking of forming good ones, as this stream is live, as this video goes live, my stream is just about finishing right now. If you want to go watch me play Superflat, but if you do like streaming, you can of course watch Minecraft live with me. The event is now live. You can click it in the description, and so you can set a notify me button so you can know exactly when it's happening, and we can do our live reaction back and forth like we usually do. I think it's a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing you next Saturday, as well as if you subscribe between now and then, I'll let you know any of the news, clarification, or leaks that we find. I don't even know what could be leaked between now and then, but I'll let you know about what is found out between now and then, because I love the Minecraft news. I hope you do too, and if you want to see more of it, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. I've got a very big burger I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to stream, and then when the stream is done, you're going to see this video. Wow, that's like time messing, huh? But yeah, see you next time. Bye.